So depending on who you talk to, you're going to get all kinds of different dating strategies. And the reality is, if you watch enough videos and TikToks and read enough articles, you're going to find most of these things are contradictory, which leaves you more confused than when you actually started the whole thing. And if you're really honest with yourself and you're self-aware and you look in the mirror, what you'll find is you probably tend to lean towards a strategy because of your own pathology, dysfunction, and greatest fears, not because it's necessarily a good strategy. So in this video, what I want to talk about is I want to address a dumb dating strategy and give you instead a healthy way to go about the same goal. Because here's the reality. These dumb dating strategies were created to address real issues, but the problem is they're going about it in the wrong way. So the one I want to address today is just this idea of, should I be available or should I play hard to get? What a dumb strategy, and it gets us confused. And so many people go out and they're like, well, they're calling me. Should I answer right away or should I act like I'm not too much available? Or maybe you go out with somebody and you like them and you want to call her the next day, but you're like, does that make me look too eager? I don't know, so maybe I should wait, but then I don't want her to think I'm not interested. And maybe you're out on a date and you're wondering about all this stuff and you're like, well, I mean, should I be engaging and seem like I'm available and easy to get, or should I be aloof and maybe detach and create more mystery? And maybe you're wondering, should I follow the 3-day rule? Because, the next day communicating's too eager, but 2 days seems too planned. So 3 days, 3 days. 3 days is the perfect time to wait, to show that you're interested, but not look too available and eager. I'm confused just talking about all this mess. So here's the reality. Research has been done that shows that people who are easy to get, which means they're available and engaged when they're on a date, actually are seen as more positive and likable. That's good. Research also shows that people who are hard to get, that means they're a little more detached, a little more aloof, increased interest and desire in the other person. So you see the problem. The very strategy that makes you more likable is not the same strategy that seemed to increase interest. So then it looked like if they're already a little bit interested, then the hard to get strategy works best. But if there has been no interest, then the easy to get strategy, because you want to be likable, works best. And if you're taking notes, like, oh yeah, that's good. So if they're a little interested, play hard to get. But first, before I play hard to get, I need to play easy to get. So stop it. Here's the truth behind the foolishness. The truth is, we are interested in things that are not necessarily easily available, but they still have to feel attainable. That makes sense? So think about restaurants. If you go to a good restaurant, you usually have to get a reservation ahead of time. You can't just walk in. Now, that's not because the restaurant woke up one day and is like, you know what? We're not allowing anybody to come in. It's usually because a lot of people want to eat there. But if you have to make a reservation 6 months ahead of time, you'll probably lose interest. So there's a little bit of lack of availability because this is something valuable, but if there's too much lack of availability, then people are going to lose interest in the thing altogether. Listen, the reason that we're interested in something is not just because we have to work for the thing, but it's because the thing actually truly has value, right? So you would not think it's a great idea to work 4 years to get a good steak. So it's not just the work that makes it valuable, but you would see value in working 4 years to get a college degree. So it's not just the work, but it's also the value in the thing that we are attaining through the work. So what does this mean for dating? Here's what this means for dating. You should not be so without a life and desperate that you are always able to seat somebody at your table. Let me say that again. You should not be so without a life and desperate that you are always able to seat somebody at your table. On the other hand, if you have a full life, somebody may call you and see if you're available for a date tomorrow night, and you may not be available because you already had plans with friends, because you had something going on with work, or maybe this is the night that you've determined is your night to read a good book and refresh and unwind. And so you're not available, not because you're playing some game. You're not available because you have a full life. So when it comes to dating, the key is not how can I play some crazy game to act like I'm not available, to try to increase their interest, and here's 7 ways to get them hooked, and here's 6 ways to seem more attractive and desirable. The key is if you have a whole, healthy life, you will be more attractive because you're not as available. Because most people are not attracted to someone who is always available, who has nothing else going on in their life. The fact that you have a whole life, that you're busy, that you may not always be able to come, can make you more attractive at times. But guess what? Even if you went out last night and the person calls you tonight and says, hey, I got tickets to the Mavs game and I was wondering if you want to go. If you're available, go ahead and go. You shouldn't have to play hard to get just to play this game to try to fool the person into thinking, listen, and if the person doesn't like you because you're available, that's not someone you probably want to be with anyway, because that sounds like the kind of person who only wants what's not attainable, and then when they finally attain the thing that was unattainable, now they've lost interest in the thing, and you don't want that person anyway. So the playing of games can backfire on us either way, whether we're too available or whether we're not available at all. The key at the end of the day is not to play games, not to wonder, should I be available or should I not be available? What you need to do at the end of the day is be you, be real, have a full life, and that will increase the likelihood that you will attract the healthy person that you ultimately want anyway. So stop playing dumb dating games like hard to get or should I be available. Be you, be real, live a full life, and you'll end up getting what you truly desire anyway. That's all I got for you. Till next time, see ya.